So, the great thing about these Zooms is, again, I want you ladies to always know, and please encourage your teams. Like, I know that sometimes I end up getting messages from people that are like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry I missed it because I had to, I was with the kids, or I was having dinner, or I was, I had like 3 other things that I had to do. Like, I think people sometimes think that they have to be sitting with their screen on, like raising their hand basically. And I want you all to know that, this is something that you get to do. You get to do, it. I don't want to say nooks and crannies of your day, but like, this is a business that you can build anywhere, and if you need to just pop an ear pod in and have your camera off and, multitask, like, do it. And I encourage people to do that. I would much rather you hop on and, still get to hear, or maybe hear a golden nugget that, like, you know what, I needed to hear that today, kind of thing, than not, not doing it all. So please don't act like you're good, girlfriend. So again, because I obviously hit the recording late. Again, we are referring to a free Audible that you can get. It's called The 6 Habits of Growth by Brendon Burchard. Okay. And so again, I've been listening to it, and it's a really good one. And when you feel like, wow, like something kind of fell into your lap right when you needed it, or right when I think I always think and feel that things are going to come to you when you're ready to receive. Okay. And so when he talked about this chapter, it was called motivation, right? And he starts saying how, people will come to him. I mean, he ends up being like business coach for all kinds of famous people, presidents, and like pro athletes, like you name it. Okay. And so he's like, people will come to me and be like, Brendan, I am, I lost my motivation. Like, I just don't have any motivation. I don't know what happened. I just feel really like I'm unmotivated. I'm this, I'm that, like something happened at home, something happened with the business, something happened with what's, like you got knocked down, right? I feel like that's when we talk about a lot, like life is life. Okay. And it knocks you down. And you sometimes, like, it's really hard to like differentiate when and how that happened, and not, and well, did it really happen because of this thing, like, did it really let's just use our business. I mean, that's what we're on here to talk about. Did you really get unmotivated because your products didn't work for you anymore, or because your business, or was it something else, right? And you just don't even realize it. So he said, when it comes to motivation comes from momentum, right? And what do you do when you lose motivation? Okay. This is what he said, and it was such a powerful statement. He said again, so what do you do when you lose motivation? He says, I have to have a serious conversation with people and say to them, you didn't lose motivation. You just lost touch of what you were fighting for. I'm going to read that one more time. You didn't lose motivation. You just lost touch of what you're fighting for. And that to me was so powerful, because it is so easy to like get distracted. Okay. It's so easy for life to life. Okay. And it knock you down. And, sometimes when life is life and really hard, right? Like, a lot of times we'll end up not showing up in other ways, right? We start doing the bare minimum, right? Like, we kind of go into survival mode depending on what's going on, right? And then sometimes it's easy to be like, you think that, oh, well, my products didn't work for me anymore, right? We're just, these are just examples, but like let's say my product didn't work for me anymore. Well, is it that the products didn't work for you anymore, or is it that you haven't even been taking them correctly anymore? You haven't even been showing up for yourself because life has lifed you, right? And you're kind of like in this fight or flight survival mode. Okay. So then he went on to talk about, you stopped looking, you lost motivation because you stopped looking at your goals. You lost motivation because you stopped visualizing what you could manifest or do to achieve those goals, right? It's not a motivation problem, it's a focus problem. And that, again, to me was just so powerful. So powerful when he talked about that, okay? Again, so when we talk about those things, right? Like, and when we talk about motivation, how often, are there, young kids that are unmotivated? Of course, like there's always going to be kids, but a lot of times younger kids are so motivated. Like when you're talking to them, right, they're like, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna own this, I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna go there, right? They're so motivated. What keeps you motivated, especially when your flame starts to dim because because you lost focus again, right? You lost focus of what you were fighting for. You need to make sure that you're staying plugged in, right? You're staying plugged in. That means on these team Zooms, right? That means you're talking to people who are motivated in their own goals, right? They're motivated in their own life. That doesn't only mean it's business, but who are you surrounding yourself with? Who are you talking to that, is goal oriented like you are, right? Who are you talking to that wants the same type of things? And I don't even mean that they have to be in Lavelle, but who are you, like, who are you up leveling around, right? Who are you like surrounding yourself with that's they're motivating you to be a better person. They're motivating you to fight for your goals, right? So, when people, when we feel maybe not motivated, right? When we feel defeated, when we feel like, gosh, I just don't even know, like you feel like your spark, like, how do I get it back? Well, I want you to ask yourself, or I want you to, like, maybe somebody comes to you and they're saying these things, right? Like, well, what's happening in your life, right? Are you burnt out? Burnout does not mean necessarily it came from your business. Burnout could mean you've got some heavy shit at home. Burnout could mean you've got heavy shit at work. Burnout could mean you're a parent dealing in a whole new phase of your child's life that you're just trying to, like, keep all the plates in the air. You're just trying to navigate and, like, Jesus, take the wheel. Okay. Like, I mean, it could be anything, right? Maybe you're going through, like, there's a big thing happened in your life, a transition. Maybe you just went, I mean, look at Lauren, not that you have burnout, but like, look at Lauren. She just literally got a brand new knee. Like, that's a big thing in your life. Do you know what I mean? And so when we talk about these things, what could be causing like us to feel like, oh, I don't know what happened to my motivation, right? It's a burnout. So what could burn you out, and how can you get that back when you are, on the days that you feel like you have lack of motivation or fire, right? Don't be afraid to take a break. Okay. Don't be afraid to rejuvenate yourself. Okay. Motivation is there. It's just under a blanket of burnout. That was a really powerful message when he said that. Your motivation is always there. It's just buried under a blanket of burnout. Okay. And so you need to get rest. You need to take breaks. You need to go for a walk when it's really nice out to fill your cup, right? You need to, again, what are you, who are you surrounding yourselves with? Who are you, what's on your news feed, right? So that's another thing. Like, so when we wake up in the morning, we talk about a lot about this. But when we wake up in the morning, the last thing that you should be doing first is feeding your brain social media. It's the last thing you should be doing. Okay. The first thing you should be doing is A, taking your capsules. And then B, you should be reading, right? Or you should be reading or listening to something that is motivational to you, something that's going to pour into your cup, that's going to light your fire, that's going to get you super fired up and motivated for the day, right? And then the next thing that you do is you should be writing your goals down. Get yourself a journal, get yourself a pad of paper, put it next to your bed, or maybe your place in the morning is if you have a home office, wherever your place is, maybe it's your chair, maybe it's sitting on your porch. If you're somewhere like Jen, that gets to be nice and warm weather. Well, we're sitting here in freaking snow Armageddon over here losing power for days. I'm not jealous or anything, but when it comes to what your spot is in the morning, like sit in that spot and write your goals down. And I don't mean, okay, well, I wrote it today, so I'm not going to write it tomorrow. No, every freaking morning, do something before you open any type of social media or emails, okay, news, anything that is going to set the tone for your day, because you've got to remember, as soon as you do that, you are letting the world in before you've even done anything for yourself, okay? So don't let it set the tone. Are you showing off your green grass right now, Jen? Because I have like sloppy, dirty, snowy slush crap in my front yard.
I couldn't resist after you said it. I'm like, I wonder if I can even show them the outside right now. Like I'm standing outside and that
Oh, you brat.
it's beautiful.
I know. Listen, if I could get up and move right now, I would, but he won't do it yet. So that's a
Please
whole
come
nother
visit.
I'm trying. But again, like, so when we get up in the morning, what's gonna fuel that motivation, or what's gonna make us like, that feeling when you wake up and you're just like, dude, I like nobody is like nobody's taking me down today. Like I'm freaking unstoppable. Like get out, like get on my level, right? Like those mornings when you just wake up and you're just like, let's go, right? And then there's other days where you're just kind of like, oh, like you want to feel like let's go every single day, okay? And that's waking up in the morning and putting you first. Again, like I said, wake up, you take your capsules, you read or listen to something that is going to be positive, something that's going to be positive, that's going to fill your cup, it's going to fire you up, right? And then you need to write down your goals, because another thing is again, let's go back to what he said, right? Feeling unmotivated is losing touch of what you're fighting for. Okay? So that also means that somewhere along the way, like he said, you stopped visualizing where you want to be, what you want to do, how you want to carry yourself, right? Like no matter what kind of goal that is. So in the morning when you're doing these things, when you're writing down your goals, this doesn't have to be a 45-minute thing. This doesn't even have, you know what I mean? Like listen to something for 10 minutes. Then take another 5 minutes and just jot this stuff down. But you got to start visualizing where you want to be, right? Tell your team where you want to be, right? Where you want to be, because where you're going to be is it at the end of the day, I mean, it's a team goal. You know what I mean? Like I am getting so convicted in where we are going as a team, and I can't even tell you guys how insane it is right now. Like when I say that, like the alignment happening right now is like, I spoke with Rebecca earlier today, and I know she 100% feels the same way. Like it is crazy in the most amazing way. Like I know where I'm going. I know where we're going together, right? And it is like it's so exciting. Like it's so exciting, okay? So, where do you see yourself? I want you guys to really start, like, I want you to visualize, where do you see yourself? Where do you, like, what is a number that you see, when you log into your, like, when you close your eyes, right? And you picture your back office, what is the number that you see there? And I don't care what your number in your back office is right now, okay? Like, do not underestimate yourself. Don't hold yourself back. I want you to visualize, except for Becca, don't close your eyes because I know you're driving.
Yeah, I know. I'm in a tunnel.
But I want you to see it. What's the number in your back office? What's your rank, right? Are you earning an auto bonus, right? On the second Tuesday of next month, are you getting an $800 payment? And I don't mean that like you're literally like, oh, it's going to happen next month, whether you're close to it or you're not. I want you guys to start visualizing what you want here. I want you to start visualizing it. Are you paying off debt maybe that you have because of what you're doing here? Right? Are you fitting into a pair of like a shirt or shorts or a pair of pants or a bathing suit that like where you visualize yourself this summer, health wise? What does that look like? And even more, what does that feel like? What are the feelings that you feel when you visualize that? What are the feelings that you feel when a $300 for your current car or an $800 payment gets deposited in your bank account on the second Tuesday of next month because you got yourself a Lavelle auto bonus? What does that feel like? Right? I want you guys to really start like honing into like, where do you see yourself going? What's attached to those things? And how does that make you feel? All right. Because that is such a powerful, powerful thing. Okay. You've got to visualize where you're going. All right. And again, you have to know what you're fighting for. And that really brings us right back to when we talk about what our why is. What is your why? When I started this, my why was I wanted to bring my family to Disney. That was the biggest part of my why. I wanted to take my family to Disney and I wanted to do it. I wanted to pay for that. My husband had always been the breadwinner in our family. Okay. I never had extra money to like pay for dinner. I never had extra money to like, hey, let's go on a family trip. Like it was always him paying because I had just enough money to like live paycheck to paycheck for what I paid for, which was really like my personal bills. Do you know what I mean? And that was it. And it was so important to me to bring my family to Disney. And I'll never forget when I hit 12K for the first time. My kids were little, you guys. When I hit 12K, Hayden was 3 years old. You guys believe that?
They were tiny.
Yeah, they were so little. And I will not forget this moment. We were sitting in our bed. I had just hit 12K. And Disney commercial came on, and Hayden was sitting in bed with Steve and I. It was a morning, I don't know, Saturday morning or something. And Hayden was like, Mickey, like all excited. And she's like, I want to go see Mickey. And Steve looked over at me and said, I think mommy's going to take us to Disney before daddy does. And I bawled my eyes out because that was so important to me, was to know that I could do something like that for my family and not feel. It just really meant, I think a lot of it between, my upbringing and, the money story that I took on from, my upbringing and, the lack of mindset of money, right? And all those things. And it was just so important to me. And if you were here early on, I don't know, Becca, I would think that you maybe heard me, share that story at a local, but every time I shared that story at a Lavelle local in front of a crowd or on a call, every single time it would choke me up and I'd start to cry, because your why should be so emotionally invested that when you think about it, you feel those emotions. And every time I talked about, and I didn't actually physically bring our family to Disney World until like 3 years ago. But initially we surprised them right before COVID. We had surprised them that Christmas. We were supposed to go in April, then COVID happened. So the whole thing got canceled and it got pushed back. But, it wasn't like immediate, because obviously as I started to make an income here, and then I was able to like, do this full time, and like there were other things that I needed to do. But you know what? Those other things came first. Was I was able to pay off my college student loans that I literally, hands down, I'll tell you right now, I used to say this all the time, my kids were getting those in the will. My kids were going to take those loans on because I was never going to pay them off in my lifetime. That's what it felt like. And because of this opportunity, I was able to pay off those college loans, right? So again, I want you guys to really dig deep. Like, what is your why? That the emotional attachment to it, like when you really visualize it and think about what you're fighting for, it'll get you choked up, you know? That's your why. Because your why, I think a lot of times we get confused and we're like, well, my why is I want to help people, and I want to make a little bit more income, and I want to be healthy, like, no, those are just like hopes in your journey, right? Like those are things that, like, you're gonna, but that's not like getting you choked up, right? You're not fighting every day on the days when you don't want to get out of bed, or those days that you don't want to show up on a Zoom, or those days that you don't want to make a post, or you don't want to follow up with your customers. That, what I just said, that is not going to get you to go, no, I still have to show up, right? There's nothing about what I just said is going to make you be like, yeah, I definitely still have to. No, you're like, no, not today, right? But when your conviction is so like attached to what you're fighting for, you'll show up on the days that you don't feel like it, because it's non-negotiable, right? And so I want you to really dig deep of like, what is your why? What is your why? What are you fighting for? Okay. And so, again, that could be, anything. Like, again, mine, my why has obviously changed, but my initial why was that was a big part of it. I was determined, no matter how long it took, I was going to bring my family to Disney, and I was going to pay for it. And I will tell you, the moment that it was finally, I got it, and it was years later, you guys, but I did it. And because of this opportunity, I was able to do that. And it was the most rewarding feeling I'd ever felt in my life, other than obviously becoming a mom. But, like that was a big deal. That was a big deal. And so I want you to really I want you to kind of dig deep and think about that. What is it that about your why? Okay.
Sorry if you can hear me mumbling. I'm like actually at the terminal and I fucking suck at the airport, so I'm just having a time.
Oh, you're fine.
I know. I'm like, I'm finally here, but I don't know what I'm doing, and now I'm panicking. So okay.
You're fine.
We're gonna go this way.
So, before I just touch on the next thing I wanted before we call it a wrap tonight, on what we just went over, does anybody have anything that they want to add or say in regards to that before I just kind of move forward? Everybody good? Okay. All right. So I would definitely want to touch on the weekend. You guys, that gut health bundle blew my mind. Absolutely blew my mind. So I couldn't even tell you the last time Lavelle dropped a bundle, right? Like they, some kind of like group of products at a discount, whatever. And our team specifically like just went crazy over it. Okay. And it happened this weekend. It was crazy. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like, so I definitely want to shout out a couple people real quick. Like, so I hit my first PPA of, daily bonus. So that was like, I was over the freaking moon about that. Becca's now hit it twice, right? 2 times or 3 times?
Three
times. Freaking girl's a rock star. Yeah. So Becca's hit it 3 times. Her girl Danielle's hit it 2 times.
1. I think Danielle hit it once. She hit her VIP and then she hit this bonus.
Oh, maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Okay. Yeah. So like the weekend was crazy over this bundle. The reason I'm sharing this with you is because I want to share a couple of things that I noticed that like I personally did. And then if Becca has a moment, or actually, Becca, if you want to go first before you have anybody jump in your car.
Okay. Yeah, I have a little time. I guess he's not gonna have his bags for a little bit, but I'm good. We're good.
Yeah. So, so mine is really fast. So I ended up, okay, I share this a lot. And one of my, nothing grows in your comfort zone kind of thing. Mine always has been and still is going live on my Facebook. Okay. Unless if it's something personal, I'm okay. If it's about my business, I don't know why, because I can go live here, I can go live on the team page, and I'm totally fine. But if I go live on my personal page, I don't know why. It just like kind of feeling. And so I said, you know what, screw it. And Friday, again, I was like, that's it. I'm fired up. Like, we're doing this. I went live on my personal page and just literally was like, we dropped this insane gut bundle. This is, gut health. This is why it's so important. This is what it does for your body. This is why you would need it. And this is what you're going to get in this bundle. Right. And I even dropped the price. I didn't hide the price. I was like, it's like 40% off. It's literally, you're going to get all of these things for $160. And they're going to last you roughly about 2 months minus the detox, obviously, because it's 10 days. That live alone got at least that I'm aware of. I think there a lot of orders did go through the back office, but I got a loan that day, 3 on just Friday. Okay. 2 of them were new orders of this gut bundle. I'm sorry, no, and another one on Saturday. I woke up in the morning, another person, my hairdresser. So it was just like, oh my gosh. And it all stemmed from the live. And I was shocked because I was like, oh my gosh, like me going on there and explaining what it was and why you would want it and need it, right? Was like, people were like, wow, I'm watching your video now. And I was like, what? Like, okay. Like, I couldn't believe how many people actually watched it and the kind of like interest and value it brought. So then I went live again on Saturday, and then on Sunday I had no power, and here we are. So that kind of put a damper in that. But that was really, really, that was more impactful of reaching people that needed something that, I guess I just assumed not every, sometimes you're just like, oh, like, not that nobody cares, but, I guess I don't focus enough on strictly, like, we have the opportunity to focus strictly on, well, if you're just looking for gut health, like, you know what I mean? Not pushing our 3 steps. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I'm going to send everybody at least a sample who ordered the gut bundle that's not already thriving, but it totally gets the door open, right? The conversation going. And, who doesn't want gut health in reality? And honestly, a lot of people don't even realize that they need it if they're not really like that educated on their overall, health as it is. Cause I know I wasn't before Thrive. I had no idea. I just knew that I just knew, like, gosh, I'm constipated all the time and I'm bloated. I just need some stuff. I just need some Marilax or something. Like, I didn't have like gut health education. I didn't understand the importance of it, right? So I have to remember, gosh, even though I'm so knowledgeable about it now, how many people still have no idea? Shoot. All right, now you got to show them what this thing is. Don't push too hard, you'll hurt me. It's it's a legit bear claw. Okay. My dad got a bear, long story short, Brazilian, and it's an actual bear and his claws. So, okay, put that away. Okay. Anyway. So Becca killed it. She killed it this weekend with the bundles. And so I want to share this because I feel like it's like, oh my gosh, why haven't I done this before? Why didn't I go live before talking about these bundles and showing them what they would get and why they would want it? And, this girl was on fire this weekend too with that. So I'd, share what you did or what you felt was working for you or how you were able to get so many people going.
So I am obnoxious and I always just pop on for like a quick live because I have ADD, and if I don't, I'll forget. So I did that a few times here and there. I put it in my story, and then also I was already talking to a handful of people, and I just tried to set it up as like, I just wanted to work on 2 at a time because I only needed 1 bundle and like a small order to hit it for that day. So I just wanted to like focus on 2 at a time and just like recycle the bonus how I could. So, you know, like I would focus on the 2 for that day and just, be like, they were already talking about the actual experience and the whole system themselves. So if they were talking about the Bad Bish method, you already want a detox to start with. You already want the balance and biotic anyway. So that's 3 things. Restore is going to help you no matter what. Like your everything in the bundle you already want to add anyway. So you're just saving yourself money that you're going to add in like 2 months when you're like, oh, what are the extra things? So I kind of like just told them you're never going to save that much because even like I've never seen them bundle it. I don't even think I've ever seen them do a bundle, maybe one other time, but it was like weird shit. Like I don't think I don't recall them ever doing something like that, that I've caught. So it was actually like that many good things that I wanted at the same time that was like useful to me.
Yeah.
Normally it's like when they're trying to get rid of something or like old shake flavors, do you know what I mean? So like, um, I told them that it was like a great deal and that they should do that. And for the people who did that in one day, I was like, go ahead and do the bundle. If you're not on it yet, you can do your detox and get yourself all good. And then next week, when those credits come in, I'll help you get your whole Thrive experience, whatever, for way less. So they got the bundle and now they get a discount on their like first month. And that's pretty much what I did for everyone, like all 3 of those days. That's just the deal I made because you get like a shit ton of credits back with the bonus. Plus like
Right.
literally, I don't even know, like 2, 4, 6 plus our referred to. You're gonna have $1,000 in credits alone. So like
Right.
there you go.
And you guys,
Like you get some
the
credits and you get
bonus,
some credits. So like
just so you all know, like the bonus is still available through the end of March. So you still have a whole week
yeah.
to hit your daily PPA, the 400 PPA. Again, getting that conversation started, again, dig into, the free accounts that you've done, reach out to those people. I can't tell you, that's exactly what I've been doing all week. I can't tell you how many people literally stopped thriving like forever ago. Okay. 7 months ago, 2 years ago, like you name it. I've reached out to so many different people and literally just said like, hey, I'm not sure where, and these are honestly like promoters, never mind customers, I reached out to a couple customers, but I've been really digging into like promoters, people who, just fell off the face of the earth or whatever. And, saying, hey, listen, like, I don't know what you're thinking, but I can't tell you how many people responded with, I actually have been thinking of it. I actually have been thinking about getting back on. I have been thinking about, so like people want what we have. Okay. And I think sometimes I'm going to speak for myself. I get so focused on, I need to always like new, I need to find a new person. I need to find a new this or a new that. But a lot of times we have people that we've already spoken to, maybe even been part of our team or a customer that fell off, and who knows why they fell off, right? Everybody has a different, could have been going on, but that doesn't mean that they don't want an invitation to come back. And that's what I've really noticed this past week is that I think people just want to be invited to know like, hey, I'm still here. Like, if you want to come back or you want to get started again, you want to whatever, like, like, let's go, and people are like, yeah, I can't believe I actually was just thinking about it. So, again, that is a whole nother avenue of like, you've already built it. You've already started. They're already in your, your database somewhere, maybe it's a customer's customer, right? Maybe it's a promoter. Maybe somebody on your team fell off and you reach down and say, pull their promoters up like, hey, I know so-and-so's kind of not, they're not doing nothing right now, or maybe, they're not active, but like, I'm still here to help you. How can I help you? How can I help you hit your goals? Um, Also, let's talk about the updated referral program. Okay. Like, I'm sorry. I just feel like our company, they never stop trying to find ways to make it better. They're constantly trying to find ways to make it better for everybody, whether you're in the business side or just a customer. So I am not an expert on this new referral program yet. Okay. I just feel like my focus has been in so many different directions over the past 72 hours, including not having any power for like almost 48 of them. But I'm going to just pull it up again to read it because I don't want to say, oh yeah, blah, 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 blah. And then I'm missing something. Oh, and while I'm pulling this up, also, I just want to let you guys know, I would love your help. I'm gonna do my best to like copy pictures and pull them over. I had to start a new detox group. If you saw, that wasn't spam. Unfortunately, when I had lost my Facebook back in October, I was the admin, obviously, of the detox group that I had created. And because I didn't have a backup admin in there, well, I did, but that admin has, since then left. And so because I was not put back into an admin position in the group got archived, like because there was no admin in the group. So Facebook pretty much was like, the group's now done. I can get in there, I can see things, but we can't, unfortunately, it's not an active group anymore to utilize. So I had to start a new detox group. So that if you guys have any of your customers that have detoxed, please add them back in. I know that group constantly had people that had done it in the past and then would do it again. And they'd get motivated by somebody else in the group talking about, oh, I'm going to start the detox. And then they'd do it again, so it wasn't a one and done group. I know that it was a lot of knowledge for a lot of people. And I know that it motivated a lot of people, a lot of customers. So if you do have people that have done the detox, we're in that group, you should be able to go into the original group too, and you can see everything I can see. So if you wanted to look up members and be like, oh my gosh, I forgot my customer was in here, add them to the group. It's a huge tool for every single one of us. And so, I can only add so many people. Obviously, it's hard. I can't add people that I'm not friends with. So if you, like I said, if people in your network were part of that detox group, help me build this new one back up with those that were in it. And as you have new people that want to do the detox, add them to the group, because everything that they would need for the detox is there. And again, I'm going to be going through and saving all of the, like food photos that people were constantly posting in there, what they were making, because I always heard feedback of how wonderful it was for them to see what people were making, so I will be, taking things and moving them over from that archived group now to this new one. But yeah, if you guys could help, in any way in regards to that new detox group, just adding your people, adding, any kind of photos that maybe you have in your phone from when you did the detox, etc., would just, obviously, it's just felt, tools for everybody in there. Let me pull. Okay. So the new referral program.
Sorry for my faces, guys. I wish you could see this person. This guy in a Volvo wagon is having a tough time trying to parallel park in the place where parallel parked. He almost hit my car. He almost hit the car in front of me and behind me. And then he pulled all the way up to the front of the like loop-de-loop thing. And he's like, I get all the space here. And every time someone moves, he tries to like really quickly back up. Like he's parallel parking, but he's just like getting closer, but he goes like real aggressively fast and he's making me nervous.
Oh my gosh. Okay, the referral program. Now, customers get credits with just one new referral, okay? Lavelle is giving each customer 25% rebate of their new referrals first order in the form of credits. This is in addition to the Refer To program. Okay, yeah, I needed to reread that myself. Okay, so our normal Refer To, okay? So your customers got referred to, they're automatically getting, the two highest orders, they are taking the percentage of those two highest orders, right? And they're giving them that in product credits, as we know, comes on the second of the month, okay? Also, this is basically going to turn your customers into like that motivated, well, you know, I want to keep referring people because it's going to benefit me, right? It's an incentive now. So every time your customer refers a new order, okay, not only are they getting the refer twos on the 2nd of the next month, they're going to get 25% of that order in product credit. Like, these people could be having their whole household thriving for free every freaking month and not have to be part of the business. Think about that. And they're going to get the additional 25% on every single order that's brand new, their first time order, okay? Bi-monthly, meaning twice a month. Those will be also deposited onto their account, okay? So this is insane. Let's do, no way. That can't be right. There's 25%. Are you kidding me? 25% of 160, which is just the pack, is $40. You guys, $40? Like, imagine if they referred like 3 people on top of their refer two.
And it's unlimited.
Right. Yeah, it's unlimited. So now again, so in addition to the regular refer two, now if your customer only has one new referral order that does not have to, and it does not have to be auto ship. So if they place an order and they like screw up and don't click auto ship, it's not like, oh, that didn't benefit me. You know, like they're still going to get 25%. Okay. And yeah, they will still receive the new perk of 25% rebate in credits. Plus the 25% is the rebate is in their account bi-monthly, and it is unlimited. So let's say Sally refers 4 people in 1 month. She'd get 25% rebate on each of those orders and her refer to credits on the following month on the 2nd. I'm sorry, what? Like, huge perk for your customers to want to tell their friends and not just feel like, well, I've already got 2 people, so what's the point? What's the point? You could have the skincare. You could be like, these people could have a fully stocked house and literally just be a customer and not be paying for it. That's crazy and amazing. Okay, so huge opportunity. You've got to be sharing it out there. Like, if you're not telling your customers, they don't know. Okay, just remember that. If you're not telling them, they don't know. Maybe they got an email, but I mean, come on, how many emails do you get that you don't check? You didn't even see it, you know? So again, and I want you guys to remember, your customer orders, referrals, count towards this PPA daily bonus. So your customer does all the work and you're getting that $400 in cash, $200 in credit for bringing in $400 in sales in 1 day. New orders. I'm sorry, what? How about your trip? How about the incentive trip, the cruise in June? You want to go on that? Get your customers referring some people, because that also counts, right? That also counts. Those are all new PPA orders. When your customer refers a customer, it counts as anything to do with PPA counts for you. Your PPA is going to go up. Your bonus tracker is going to move. It's all going to go towards that. Your incentive trip tracker is going to grow. Like, you guys, this all goes towards all of those things because your customer is just a customer, right? So their referrals count as your like direct customers when it comes to any kind of tracking towards any kind of incentive-y thing. Okay. How about the customer, the 20 freaking customer? You get $1,000, you guys. There's a tracker in your back office about it. Again, your customers start referring customers, you could hit 20 pretty freaking fast, couldn't you? $1,000. So this is just a crazy opportunity and a huge incentive for your people. So that being said, I'm super fired up. I hope that you guys are too. This is our last Zoom, if I can on maybe Thursday. I've been thinking about doing some just kind of impromptu things on Thursday nights. So kind of keep an eye out for that. If you can make it, cool. Otherwise, yeah, next Monday, I believe, is the 1st. Yeah, it is the 1st, and it's the weekend of Easter. Yep, so everybody's gonna be busy this weekend. So I hope you guys have an insanely aggressive week. If you need me, reach out. I am here for you. I'm here to help you. I am here
Okay,
to.
Okay,
I'm here to help you. Okay, I'm here to, like, if I can help you with refer tos, if I can, like, anything you need, I'm here. Okay, so reach out. Let's do this. Let's rock the end of the month. Let's get some, some
Yeah.
$400 cash, $200 credits into your bank accounts. Okay, before the end of the month.
Oh, Kevin's sitting there. We'll
I
get
hope
it
that
to
you guys
fit.
are as fired up as I am, because
For sure.
second, I'm just- okay. Things are exciting, things are happening. And so I'm fired up, I'm excited, and I hope that you guys are too. So that being said, I love you ladies so much. My heart is behind me. There it is. See, it's right there. I love you. I'm gonna end the recording, and then if anybody just has anything